Family, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Alabama football released some photos on social media. Let's discuss them. First off, leading out with Jam Miller. Now, I have a question in the back end of this video about running back number 3. So be thinking about that. Who do you think is going to be running back number 3? We know that running back number 1 is going to be this man right here, Jam Miller, who in my opinion is still very underrated in the world of college football. I was surprised that even during SEC media days, not a lot of people spoke about Alabama's running back, so I think they're kind of flying under the radar. I expect Jam Miller and Richard Young to be a quality 1-2 punch. What do you think about it? Sound off inside the comment box, and be thinking about running back number 3. I'll get to it in just a minute. You also have Edgerkill right here. Now, when you look to Alabama's defensive linemen, clearly we're talking about Tim Keenan. And I think he's going to have a very successful year. I think James Smith is going to be one of those guys that has high-level production. But I'm also curious to see which defensive lineman also emerges after those two, like Edgerkill, a Jeremiah Beeman, guys like that, maybe Steve Mbua. I know we're all still waiting on Keon Keeley, Jordan Bernard, those type of guys. And, of course, you're going to have your staples like LT Overton and some of those other guys that we've mentioned before. I love this photo right here. This is the Alabama, some shots of the offense. So right here in the center, this is Jordan Bernard. One thing that really stood out, though, is look at Ryan Williams right here. He is absolutely dialed in. So I think you have like Ryan Williams Hollywood, right? The big smile, the personality, the guy who, we watch on NCAA football. But I think this is like Ryan Williams who's dialed in, okay? So that is the eyes and the face of an absolute competitor. So Jordan Bernard, who I think, and in my opinion, will be wide receiver number 2. And I think everybody that talks about the wide receivers, I'm going to ask here in a little bit, who do you think that wide receiver number 4 will be? Because the big 3, let's face it, Ryan Williams, Jordan Bernard, Isaiah Horton. But who do you think will be wide receiver number 4? Rico Scott, Jalen Hill? I'll get to it in just a second. Let me get through these photos. You also have Xavier Brown. Xavier Brown played every single game last year, started at corner. Alabama's secondary. I love these guys coming in. There's a lot of versatility. There's some young guys for sure. Dejon Lee is one of the guys that we've hyped up, but let's not forget about a returning starter at the corner position, who is Xavier Brown. Parker Brailsford, another guy that came in. I think this was the first edition that Coach Kalen DeBoer brought in. People were critical of his overall size, right? Saying that he was too light. He played fantastic last year. Returning All-American, I think when you look to Alabama's offensive line, clearly we know a couple things. We know that Caden Proctor still feels that he hasn't showcased his best, which is great to hear his mindset. Parker Brailsford had a fantastic season, and you have Jaden Roberts, who is squatting 900 pounds. I don't know who's going to be the starter at left guard. Probably Cam Dewberry or Geno Vandermark. That's going to be hashed out in August. And then right tackle, we're all hoping that Will Conformby takes big steps forward. And wouldn't that be a story to get behind, right? In-state guy, a guy from Tuscaloosa, starting at right tackle. This is Isaiah Horton. Now, we had a small opportunity to see Isaiah Horton during the NFL Combine when it came to Tuscaloosa. This guy was phenomenal. He's 6'4". He came over from Miami. Miami wanted this guy to be their number 1 wide receiver. He's going to do damage. And I think when you have Ryan Williams, if you put him in the slot, if you have Jordan Bernard on the other side and Zay Horton on the other side, this could be dangerous. I think he's going to have high-level production. I don't know if he's going to be a 1,000-yard guy, but I could see him catching a lot of touchdowns, specifically in the red zone, just because of his size, right? He's 6'4", about 200 pounds. You have Bray Hubbard right here. I think there's one more. Let's go. 1 second. Before we get to Bray Hubbard, how about Deontay Lawson? It's good to see him back. There's 2 comeback stories that I'm excited about this year in terms of players that were injured. I mean, there's several guys, but the 2 main ones are Deontay Lawson, whose season got cut short. This guy should be in the NFL right now. Having him come back is just phenomenal news for Alabama's inside linebackers, along with Nikhai Hill-Green and Justin Jefferson. And the other story is clearly Jalen Hill, right? And I'll talk about the wide receivers here in just 1 minute. A fan favorite clearly is Bray Hubbard. I strongly recommend that you go out and watch The Tide That Binds. Is a documentary put together. I think it was created by Alabama football. It's on foxnation.com. There's a segment or, a portion of one of those videos that tells a story about Bray Hubbard. Man, it's hard not to make him a fan favorite. I want to get a hoodie to rep Hubbard He's a dog, man. And the thing is, when he came in last season, because he wasn't a starter, but when he came in last year for injured Keon Sabb, the defensive secondary and the defense overall, they played better. You can look at Pro Football Focus. His particular numbers, very, very good. I can't wait to see him in 2025. So I have a couple questions regarding some position battles as we go into the season. And I think running back number 3 is probably one of my question marks. And I'm like, who's going to be that guy after Jam and Richard Young? Do you think it's going to be Daniel Hill? 6'1", 240 pounds. You got Draylon Washington. Look, he's a senior. Why would he transfer somewhere his senior year if he didn't think that he was going to get reps? You see what I'm saying? 5'9", 216 is like a bowling ball. You got Kevin Riley. I'll always remember that Coach Kalen DeBoer said that he's got the most shiftiness out of any of the guys. And then A.K. Deere. By the way, if you played NCAA football, A.K. Deere is unbelievable. He's so fast on the game. I think they slowed down Jam Miller, but A.K. Deere is, man, I've been killing it with him. My other question about position battles is who's going to be wide receiver number 4? So sound off inside the comment box. Cole Adams, Rico Scott, Jalen Hell, Lazier Brooks. I think it's easy. It's either going to be Rico Scott or Jalen Hell, in my opinion. But let's not forget about the 2 guys on the outside. Cole Adams is one hell of a player. He gets overshadowed because of all, the big time players on, Alabama's receiving unit. But Cole Adams is very dependable, very good. Battled through last year with 2 injuries. That's another comeback story to watch. Rico Scott, man, this dude is so talented. He is absolutely it. I think he'll have a really strong year. Jalen Hell, as I said, the comeback story, man. The wide receivers are so dangerous. And then Lazier Brooks was slicing up people during the springtime. Having a freshman like him, so excited. I wish he was on the game on NCAA football. Sleeper defensive lineman, Jeremiah Beeman. Keon Keeley. We're going to go crazy if Keon Keeley gets on the field this year. Jordan and I do not sleep on this dude. He is so good. And I don't really know too much about Kelby Collins yet, the transfer in from Florida. Rounding it out, the Husky position. Alabama secondary is elite. You got, 2 safeties who are high caliber, 2 corners, high caliber. That Husky position, I don't know. Who do you got? Do you think it's going to be Deshaun Jones? Do you think Deshaun Jones is going to retain that position? You also got Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., man, he's getting the older he gets, the older we get, right? Think about that. Cam Calhoun. I think Cam Calhoun is gonna be good, fam. I really do. And Zay Mincy, also back there, maybe as a Husky position. Who knows? Maybe it could be Dejon Lee at Husky. So just wanted to present those questions to you. But Alabama football, clearly, I'm sure you follow them on social media. They released these photos. The gear that I'm wearing right here is from Athlete's Thread, and this raffle is still going on. So if you want to get involved in the raffle, it's still open up until July 25th. So if you see this before then, you could jump in the raffle. Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Cash at Bama YouTube. The hat, okay, I know a lot of people have been talking about the hat. Saturday Down South apparel, and I'll put a link to that inside the comment box as well. I appreciate you guys kicking it with me all summer long. I'm saying we're like a 42-yard field goal away from the college football season. Next week, Alabama will start practice, and we'll get you cooking right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Drop a thumbs up inside the comment box, and get inside the comment box with the questions that I asked regarding the running backs, receivers, defensive linemen, and that Husky position. Have a beautiful rest of your day, your week. Be present, be where your feet are at, and we'll catch up with you soon right here at Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam.